Okay, so let us start. See, um, I don't know whether you have followed the YouTube video or not, but that day, as the class was, I was not able to take the class because of this technical issue, as you were not able to hear me properly. So, what I did the recording of that day's class. So, I did the recording, and the recording has been uploaded in YouTube yesterday. Okay, so I have seen the video, so it has been clearly it is clearly available in YouTube. So today I will be starting from the second portion. Okay, today I will be starting from the second portion. So before I start the second portion, I will just sum up the story so far as I have done in my first class. So you follow the first class along with today's class, and then you will be able to understand. Okay, I'm. Wait for us. Okay, sir. Okay, so what happened? I was talking about three friends. So these three friends, they were supposed to start a journey together. They were supposed to start this journey together. They were trying to pack. Now, the narrator, okay, the narrator who is writing the story as well as telling the story to us. The narrator name is Jerem K. Jerem. So he is very much proud about himself being the best packer in the world. Okay, he considered himself very talented in the packing skill. Not only in the packing skill, he is having many other skills. So he was very proud, and therefore, while these other two friends they started to pack, he suddenly went and said, "Okay, I will do." Means I will do this. He just said, "I will do this." That doesn't mean that he is trying to say that I will be doing the packing. What he exactly meant, he tried to mean that is, he wanted to supervise the job. He will be directing them how to pack because he considers himself to be a good packer. So he thought that I will go, I will stand there and I will tell them, you pack this, you keep this, you put that. I will be supervising them. But these two friends suddenly understood that okay, like he is going to do the job. So what they did, they removed themselves from that job, and both of them went to different corners. One was sitting over the easy chair, and another one was putting his legs over the table and relaxing. So this irritated Jerem K. Jerem, and he felt very much disgusted because he don't like people. Hey, who is this devil queen? Change your name. Devil queen. You need to use your proper name, the proper name which is your real identity for this Skype class, because this is the classroom. You must not use any such fancy names like devil queen. Because the attendance is being taken, your attendance will be written as devil queen. I don't know who it is. Okay, so what I was telling that this Jerem K. Jerem, he was very much angry. He can't tolerate people sitting idly while he is working. But these two friends were like that. So what can be done? He has to endure it. He has to tolerate that with patience. And then he was mentioning about one other roommate. Like many months before, he used to live with another person. He had a roommate. So that person was also exactly like them. He was so lazy that he will not do a single work. He will be sitting and looking at other people do the work. And Jerem is telling that I don't have this kind of habit. When I see someone else is working in front of me, I just can't sleep, I just can't sit idly. I have to go about, I have to keep my hands in my pocket, and I will be telling. He won't be doing, he is telling, I will be telling that what to be done. He can't just sit idly and see others work. So whatever, so and then finally he had to do the packing, so he was serious about it. So he was doing the packing, he was doing and doing. He thought that he can do it very easily. Within some minute he will complete the packing. But his expectation was a little much underestimated, so it took long time. He took long time to pack the entire thing. Finally he completed his packing. He just strapped the bag. Okay, he closed the bag, he strapped the bag, everything was done. Suddenly, once he has done everything, suddenly this Harris, he is telling that, are you not going to pack those pair of boots? The boots are remaining. You have missed to pack the boots. Now Jerome is getting angry. You should have told it little bit earlier when I was closing the bag. At that time you could have told. Now I have closed everything. Now you are telling me that you have missed the boot. Okay, but anyway, that's nonsense. So he was in a kind of difficult situation because he has to again strap out the entire bag package, everything, and he has to open up the bag once again. So it's kind of bit of work, extra work. So watching his condition, understanding his condition, suddenly his another friend, that is George, he started laughing with that idiotic laughter, okay, that irritating laughter. He started laughing. That irritated him even more. So that's when, and then after that he packed the boot. He again closed, he was about to close the bag. Suddenly one horrible idea occurred to his head and he started thinking, have I packed my toothbrush? Because it is his habit. Jeremy is telling, it is my habit that every time I try to go somewhere, I try to pack my things, I will obviously every time somehow I miss to pack my toothbrush. So he will be remembering about the toothbrush in the middle of the night and he will wake up from the sleep with such tension that, oh, I have forgotten my toothbrush. So he will be like sweating, okay, unnecessary tension he will be taking. So he will wake up from his sleep thinking about the toothbrush and he will again go, he will take out the toothbrush, he will keep it in his bag. Then he will again go to sleep. Then morning he will wake up and he will think that, oh, why have I packed my toothbrush? Because I need to use my brush. Because morning means he has to do the brushing, then only he can do some other work. So for that, from that package bag, he has to take out the toothbrush again. He will use the toothbrush and as expected, he will always forget to put the brush back into the bag. So ultimately he will forget, and then in the last moment while they were all going towards the station, suddenly he will again remember, oh, I have forgotten my toothbrush. So he will again come running back to the house. He will somehow take the toothbrush, wrap it up in a handkerchief, put it in the pocket, and then he will go for the station. So this is his regular habit. Every time it happens to him. So again, this time also while packing the bag, again that idea came to him that have I packed my toothbrush? Because he was not able to remember. He is completely like blank. He don't have any clue whether he has packed the toothbrush or not. Now he has to do, he has to again open the bag. He has to take the entire thing out. He has to search everywhere. Where is the toothbrush? Where is the toothbrush? And finally, he will be able to find two toothbrush, means George and Harris's toothbrush several times, but he won't be able to find his own toothbrush. Finally, he will be able to find his own toothbrush in the end, which he will find from inside a boot. Okay, somehow the toothbrush got inside the boot. So he will find it. Then again he has to do the entire work from the beginning, that is the packing work. So he will finish all the packing and the time will be night 10:05, means night around 10 p.m. he will after all finish his packing. At that time Harris and George, they will be watching him with lots of interest, that see how this person is packing. He claims himself to be a very smart packer, but he is completely a fool. Okay, he takes unnecessary tension for packing. So such a simple work, packing. Okay, why he is showing off this much? So then they will intervene, they will interfere, and they will say that the remaining things that need to be packed, leave it to us. Now what are these remaining things? The remaining things are the food items, the food plates, cups, okay, the food items which they need to pack in a separate hamper. Hamper means kind of basket with a cover. So the hamper that need to be packed. So George and Harris are coming and telling him, offering him that you please go take rest and leave this work to us, because these things are very easy, we will show how to work. So they will start the working. So from here we will start today. That is paragraph number 8. Page number 84, paragraph number 8. Okay, regarding assessment, don't ask me now because I don't have any clue. Okay, now page number 84, paragraph number 8. They began in a light-hearted spirit, evidently intending to show me how to do it. I made no comment. I only waited, with the exception of George. Harris is the worst packer in this world, and I looked at the piles of plates and cups and kettles and bottles and jars and pies and stoves and cakes and tomatoes, etc., and felt that the thing would soon become exciting. Now this George and Harris, they were showing one attitude, purposely towards Jerome. They were trying to show that, see how cool we are. While we pack, see how cool we are. Unlike you, you are like so like as if you are doing such an important work. But you need to take some things as easy. Okay, so they were trying to show him. But here, Jerome knows very well what kind of packer these two people are. Jerome is very well aware of it. Okay, he knows that they were complete stupid. They can't do a single thing properly. They will end up into some kind of disaster. That is their habit. So he made no comment. He just stood there and he waited. He waited for the show to begin. What is the show? Their packing show. Because their packing show is going to be very entertaining, very exciting. At first, Jerome saw what are the things remaining, the cups, the dish, the tomatoes, the jam, everything is there. They need to pack it. So watching that, Jerome already got one idea that the show is going to be very exciting, very interesting. So he has to watch how they do. It did. So as he expected, the show is going to be exciting. So it happened exactly in the exciting way. They started with breaking a cup. At first, they broke a cup. That was the first thing they did. They did that just to show you what they could do and to get you interested. So at first, they started their work by dropping a cup, and the cup dropped and broke. Okay, so they made the starting of the disaster number 1. So this thing they did is just like a trailer, how the movie is going to become. Okay, just as you can understand the movie by watching the trailer, in the same way they are just introducing themselves, their work, by breaking a cup. It's actually jokingly said by Jerome. Okay, he's just in a joking way he's narrating the story. So they caught your attention, so you are definitely going to have a very interesting show right now. Okay, it's definite. Then Harris packed the strawberry jam on top of a tomato and squashed it, and they had to pick out the tomato with a teaspoon. Then Mr. Harris, what he did, he put the tomatoes in the bottom, and over the tomatoes he kept the heavy jam jar. And what happened eventually? The tomato got squashed, means it got pasted. It became a tomato puree. Okay, so that tomato puree is of no use. So what they have to do, they have to clean the basket once again. So they have to scoop out the entire tomato puree with a teaspoon. So they have to clean it. So one disaster was the breaking of the cup. The second disaster done by Harris was making the tomato puree. Next is, and then it was George's turn, and he trod on the butter. I didn't say anything, but I came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them. So the next thing that George did, George was walking here and there, and while he was walking here and there, he stepped over the butter. He stepped over the butter while he was walking. Trod means walking. Okay, while walking, he stepped over the butter. And the butter got stuck to his foot. Okay, and he was trying to take it off. And narrator, he knew, he expected these are the things that are going to happen. So he did not say any kind of comment. He did not make any comment. He just watched. And he wanted to have a very closer watch. So what he did, in order to have a very closer watch, he came forward in front of the table and he sat in the corner of the table like this. And he started watching them more intensely, and that irritated them even more, that Jerome is watching us. Jerome is trying to prove through the look of his eyes that we are after all useless. So they started getting this feeling and they got more irritated. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt that. It made them nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them, and then they couldn't find them when they wanted them, and then packed the pies at the bottom and they put heavy things on the top and smashed the pie in two. So they started doing all sorts of things. Okay, this is just the beginning. They got so much nervous, they got so much irritated, okay, they got so much self-conscious, they started making mistakes after mistakes. they are stepping on things, okay, they are sitting on things, then they are trying to find that thing everywhere. Okay, so many things were happening. In the same way, another thing that they made, just like the tomato, as they put the tomato in the bottom, in the same way they put the pie. Pie means a kind of fried big thick chapati type of thing. Okay, that is like, you can compare it to a cake. So it's a soft thing. So they put those pies in the bottom of the basket, and over that they put heavier objects. And what happened? The same thing happened. The entire pie got smashed. Okay, it became useless. Then what they did, they upset salt over everything. They dropped the salt container over everything. So everything has been sprinkled with salt. Okay, and as for the butter, I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. It's just a very simple amount of butter. With that simple amount of butter, the narrator is trying to say these 2 men, they were so much bothered. Their life got so much bothered with that simple amount of butter that he has never seen 2 people getting this much bothered for that simple amount of butter. Because we are going to see the butter episode, what happens with the butter. So what happened? After George had got it off his slipper, they tried to put it in the kettle. So you remember what George did? George stepped on the butter. So the butter was stuck to his foot. So he has to take that off. So once he took off that butter from his foot, from under his foot, okay, he tried to keep the butter inside the kettle. Now, if you are asking me, why ma'am, inside the kettle they can keep the butter anywhere? So here I will tell, I really don't have any idea why they actually wanted to or thought about keeping the butter inside the kettle. I don't know what idea got into them. Okay, that is why they were called the worst packers of the world. Okay. So as they were trying to put the butter inside the kettle, it was not getting in. So they somehow put pressure and they pushed the thing inside. It wouldn't go in, and what was in wouldn't come out. And they were trying to clear the kettle. So whatever things were there inside the kettle, they were trying to take that out. That was not coming out. They were trying to keep the butter inside. The butter was not going inside. They did scrap it out at last, and finally everything they started to scrap it out because the kettle idea was not working. So they had to take out the butter. Whatever butter got inside, they have to scrap it out again and put it down on a chair. And Harry sat on it. So after scraping out all the butter from the kettle, they put the butter on the chair. And at that time, Harris, without understanding or watching anything, he sat over that chair. So what happened now? Now the butter got stuck to his back. And it stuck to him, and they went looking for it all over the room. After some time, they were searching for the butter. Where is the butter? Where is the butter? They were looking all over the room for the butter, but they didn't have the clue that the butter was stuck behind someone. Okay, they don't have that clue. But narrator was watching everything. He made no comment. He was watching, observing everything, but he was just waiting how far they can go with this packing. So he was just watching. So here, I will take my oath, I put it down on the chair, said George, staring at the empty seat. So George was staring at the empty seat and telling, here, I clearly remember, I swear I clearly remember I put the butter here in this seat, means on this chair. I have put it. Where it is now? I can't find it. Harris is telling, I saw you do it myself not a minute ago. Said Harris, yes, means I am agreeing with you. I'm not denying, I'm not refusing. I believe you because I myself have seen that you have put the butter there. I have seen, I'm the witness here. Then they started round the room again looking for it, and then they meet again in the center and stare at one another. So they were searching all over the room and again coming back to each other and watching each other's face. Where is it? Most extraordinary thing I ever heard of, said George. It's a very strange thing, it's a very extraordinary thing. What a thing it is, like what kind of thing it is that we are keeping the butter here and the butter is disappearing automatically. What is going on? They were confused. Okay, just for a simple butter, they are confused. So mysterious, said Harris. Harris is telling, really, it's a big mystery. How can the butter disappear just like that? Where it is vanished? He's trying to figure out. Then George got round at the back of Harris and saw it. Then as George was going behind Harris, suddenly George noticed, array, the butter is behind you. The butter is at your back. It is sticking to your back. Look at this. And when George said that, Harris was trying to look like this. Where? So he was like doing the rotation. He was doing the rotation and George was doing the revolution, means around him. So they were trying to get the butter and George at that time shouted, you please stop moving. Stand still. Let me take this out. Okay. Then George got round at the back of Harris and saw it. Why, it is here all the time, he exclaimed indignantly. Where? Cried Harris, spinning round. Stand still, can't you? Roared George, flying after him. And they got it off and packed it in the teapot. Finally, they were able to take out the butter and finally this time they put the butter inside the teapot. First kettle, next teapot. I don't know what they were thinking. Fine. So it's up to them. Next thing, that is Montmorency. Another character, the character's name is very important character, Montmorency. So who is this Montmorency? Montmorency was in all of it. Montmorency was in it all, of course. Montmorency's ambition in life is to get in the way and be sworn at. If he can scream in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted and be a perfect nuisance and make people mad and have things thrown at his head, then he feels his day had not been wasted. So who is this Montmorency? He's a dog. He's the pet dog. And he is a very irritating pet dog. Means what? When some people are busy, they are working on something, they are packing, Montmorency will always have this job, will always have this idea in mind that anyway, I have to disturb people. I have to disturb them. So what this dog will do? The dog will somehow come, going this side, that side, inside, and he will come and sit over the things. That okay, fine, I'm sitting over all these things. Now you do packing. Okay, a big irritation. To get somebody to stumble over him and curse him steadily for an hour is his highest aim and object. And when he has succeeded in accomplishing this, his conceit becomes quite unbearable. So then what happens? So Montmorency's ambition in life is to irritate someone to the end level, okay, until and unless the person gets so irritated that the person will hit him with something over the head or kick him or get stumble and fall down, okay, Montmorency's day won't be satisfied. Montmorency's purpose of the day won't be fulfilled, because every day he wakes up in the morning with that ambition in mind that today I will get kick, I will get shout from my master for irritating him. That is his ambition, and until and unless that ambition is fulfilled, he will be doing that. Okay, he will be constantly irritating people. He came and sat down on things just when they were wanted to be packed. So suppose I'm going to pack certain things, okay, I'm trying to take those things, I'm packing the things from that side. So Montmorency will come and sit over those things. That was his habit, so he did that. And he labored under the fixed belief that whenever Harris or George reached out their hands for anything, it was his cold, damp nose that they wanted. So Montmorency was such a peculiar dog. He will make sure that whenever George or Harris was trying to lift up something from the side or from the back, just like that, while you pack, you don't see what you are packing. You suddenly like take this and pack, take this and pack. So they were also like trying to stretch their hand to reach some of the thing. And what they will get, every time they stretch their hand to this side or that side, somehow they will be touching Montmorency's wetty nose, damp nose. Okay, that will come in their hand. Another irritating factor, how irritating it is when you're really packing, you're hurrying to pack something, every time you're trying to touch something, you're touching the dog's nose. Funny, isn't it? Okay, so he put his legs into the jam and he worried the teaspoon and he pretended that the lemons were rats and got into the hamper and killed 3 of them before Harris could hand him with the frying pan. The next thing that Montmorency will do, that Montmorency, in order to make the irritation level a little bit higher, he will put his legs inside the jam box, means inside the jar of the jam. He will put his legs inside. Well, that is an edible thing people are going to eat, and the dog is putting the leg inside there. How horrible. Next thing that he will do, he will he will turn the entire tablespoon, I mean the set of spoons which were kept on the table, somehow a table or somewhere, he will just turn it over. So everything will fall apart, everything will clatter, and everything will become messy. He loves to do that. Then suddenly he will see the lemons and he will imagine those lemons to be rats, as if they were not lemons, as if they were rats. So he will suddenly have the, that imagination or will, excited will to catch those rats. So he will be chasing those lemons. Okay, so he will be chasing those lemons. He will get inside the hamper, means he will get inside the basket, and he will try to kill 3 of them. Now killing the rats means killing the lemons here means squashing or completely devastating the lemons. Okay, means that those lemons are of no use. So he will do that. And then finally, Harris will become so angry that he will bring a frying pan and he will hit the dog. Like, enough is enough, now you go. Okay, so his quota for the day has been completed. He got hit. He got shot, he got kicked, he got hit. So his ambition was fulfilled. He has done his irritation level. Harris said, I encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. A dog like that doesn't want any encouragement. It's the natural original sin that is born in him that makes him do things like that. So Harris used to complain. Harris started complaining that I am responsible for all this. Means Harris is trying to blame Jerome. Harris is trying to blame the narrator, that you are training your dog to misbehave like this. You are actually encouraging him to do all this kind of nuisance. And here Jerome is telling, I am not supposed to blame, means here I am not responsible for encouraging. I never encouraged him. It is just their natural habit. It is just their natural habit to get into activities like this. It's a very natural thing in them. They are born with that talent. They are born with this mischievous nature. You really can't help it. You really can't train them about that. You don't have to train them about that. Okay, so that's all. So I will be ending my class today here at this point. Next time we will start from paragraph number 14 only. Okay, and after completing this, we will go for the question answers. Okay, and one more information for you. It's okay. So this is from the school side, I'm telling you. So attendance are being taken every day, as you know. As you already know that attendance are being taken for each and every one of you, how many classes you are attending every day. So if you are keeping the fancy names like that, which is actually not readable, okay, fancy names like, I can see there are many fancy names, I'm not telling that, you can understand what are the fancy names. So if you are keeping the fancy names, those people are not being registered in the attendance. Okay, if you are keeping your original name, your proper name, your official name, then only your name will be registered in the attendance. Otherwise, you will be marked as absent. Is it clear? Okay, so immediately you change your names, whoever you are, change your names into your proper. Okay, so that's all for my class today. See you again in my next class.